Chapter 3567. Olivia, who was furious to the core, eventually accepted her mother's advice. Because although she was angry, she was also very clear about the current situation. Since Helena had already played a game, it was difficult for her to have a chance to counteract now. The only way is to wait for her to come, using her mother's life as blackmail, so that from now on, do not do the same thing, make the same mistakes. Her father, Richard, saw that she had finally calmed down a bit and said, Olivia, since Helena is on a Concorde, I guess she must be at the airport in the evening. So I suggest you go to the airport with William to meet her in advance. I know, Olivia said in a cold voice, in order to keep this TCH from talking nonsense in front of the outside world, I must control all her trips throughout. And confiscate her cell phone when the time comes, so as not to give her the opportunity to transmit information to the outside world. Richard nodded appreciatively and said, The only problem is that you are too quick-tempered and impulsive. If you can change the two, you will definitely be stronger in the future. Olivia said expressionlessly, As long as I solve Helena, my temper will be under control. She has brought me too many shadows for so many years. When it comes to matters related to her, my emotions are like a powder keg. With a little bit of friction it will blow up. Richard patted her shoulder and said comfortingly, Don't worry, Olivia, this time, we will definitely solve Helena's problem once and for all, so that she can honestly help us pull resources together from the Wade family. Olivia said with a grim expression, Actually, I don't want her to marry into the Wade family anymore, I still want to give her to the Russian Aman Ramovich. Richard advised, Aman Ramovich's assets are, at best, a fraction of the Wade family's, it's not cost effective. Olivia said seriously, but Aman Ramovich is willing to pay the royal family 500 million euros directly if Helena marries him without any problems. Richard laughed. 500 million euros is a one-time buyout fee, but hasn't the Wade family already promised to invest 2 billion euros here and work with us? And this is only preliminary, there is no telling how much space there will be in the future, so it is certainly not cost-effective to give her to Aman Ramovich. Olivia looked at Richard and said very seriously, Father, you should not forget that Helena's congenital disease is very serious, she may not live long, if she can only live a few months. Then the Wade family's funds may only come to a few hundred million euros of startup funds. Even before the startup funds are in place, she will already be dead. If she dies, there is no way that family will continue to invest in us. Richard's expression was stunned as he muttered, how come I didn't think of this layer? Chapter 3568. Olivia's brow flashed a trace of sinister thought. She coldly said, Helena now is terminally ill, a dying pet dog. If we do not want to bite her in our hands, or have to find a current stage to pay the fastest sellers, grab off. Give her to Aman Ramovich, 500 million euros will arrive immediately, and by the time she dies in St. Petersburg, what does it matter to us? Aman Ramovich can't drag the corpse and come to us to return it to us, can he? Richard said with an awe-inspiring demeanor, Olivia, you are the one who thinks more comprehensively. In that case, let's find a way to send Helena to Aman Ramovich. Olivia nodded and sneered, Since she is here, then her fate will be at my disposal. I heard that Aman Ramovich is a bit perverted at heart and likes to torture women in bed by all kinds of inhuman means. Olivia sneered and said, In that case, we can still condemn Aman Ramovich and force him to pay another pension, or we will make public the news that he abused the royal princess to death. I think, by then, how can he not give another 500 million euros, right? After all, it's not easy for the royal family to raise Helena, and it's reasonable for me to ask him for 500 million euros in compensation. Richard looked at his daughter, gave a thumbs up, and praised. Olivia, you are really a genius of the world. When you inherit the throne, the royal family will definitely usher in a spurt of development. Olivia nodded and said in a cold voice, with the news of my marriage with William, the whole of Europe is concerned. Many other European royal families and nobles, rich and powerful, are coming to attend the wedding of the two of us. Originally I did not intend to invite Amon Ramovich, that thug who cannot get on the stage, but since Helena is here, then I might as well invite him too. By the time the wedding is over I'll let him take her away. Richard laughed. Amon Ramovich loves to attend European aristocratic parties. You call him now and he will fly over from St. Petersburg tonight. Olivia nodded and said with a cold smile, I'll give him a call in a moment. After saying that, she added, by the way, Dad, I think after my wedding, there is no need to let the old lady continue to linger on, then let's inform the doctor and quietly pull out all the tubes. The speed of the Concorde was faster than the speed of the Earth's rotation. When Charlie and Helena boarded the plane, it was already evening there, but after 4 hours of flight, when they arrived in Oslo City, it was just dusk in northern Europe. Immediately after landing at the end of the runway, the plane was guided by ground guidance vehicles all the way to the hangar at the far end of the airport. While the plane was still in the taxiing phase, Helena heard the voice message Olivia had left for her. Although Olivia did not finish her words, Helena still heard the strong anger and threat in her words. She looked at Charlie somewhat nervously and spoke, Mr. Wade, Olivia should be very angry right now. I presume she will definitely put me under tight control the moment I get off the plane. Charlie smiled. The probability is that she will take you to the palace and put you under house arrest, and I will probably be treated the same way. Helena was busy asking, what then? Never mind. Charlie said lightly, since we have come all the way here, naturally we should be treated as a guest. This is the due courtesy. Everything will be discussed when we get to the palace. When Helena saw that Charlie was prepared, she was immediately relieved, and then asked him, Mr. Wade, then how should I introduce you to Helena? Charlie smiled, just say that I am Morgan's younger brother because Morgan has not yet consummated his marriage with you. According to our Chinese rules, this kind of thing of returning to your mother's family to attend the wedding. It is not convenient for Morgan to directly participate, so this time the Wade family arranged for me to escort all the way. Okay. Helena nodded gently and asked again, then does your name need to be circumvented? Charlie shook his head and casually laughed. No need. For the first time in my life I came to Northern Europe. Naturally I want to come openly and honestly. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for new updates. Thank you very much for watching. Keep safe everyone and God bless you all.